Okay, so now we're up to the final part. Where can I get the other two after I make my pick? Well, Mag's parts you get from Phobos by killing the Sergeant. He is a boss that is about as hard as a wet banana. Excalibur you will get from Lieutenant Krill on Mars. He is somewhat annoying to kill with his invulnerability phases, but he is easy enough to kill. He's just really annoying. Volt, on the other hand, you actually have to build in your clan dojo. Now, this is somewhat going to make him the harder one of the three to get, but he is very much easy enough to get, especially if you join a dojo/clan that already has him built. Now, on to kind of recommendations. If you're planning on being a solo player, like you're not joining with anyone, and you don't know anyone in Warframe, then I would highly suggest you actually pick Excalibur, as he is better off as a solo frame and has less team synergy. He's got more survivability, he's able to do a lot on his own. But if you were joining and you are joining with someone else, then I would suggest the first person picks Mag and the second person picks Volt. This is simply because these two actually have team synergy and you will be working as a team. So having two people who are able to back each other up, one being a offensive frame and the other one being a more defensive type of frame, these two will actually work very, very well together. Now, a bit of a disclosure is Mag and Volt will take a bit more time to actually get their peak potential, whereas Excalibur can hit his potential pretty early on as he's a lot more of a basic frame. But that being said, the other two will handle things a lot easier. They can do a lot of damage in the later game. These two are actually some of the top survival frames. These are frames that are able to go for very long runs in a survival mission or a defense mission. So these two have got that end game damage if you are looking to go for the end game, or the kind of endurance community. So, to really just quickly re-summarize everything, is if you are going to be a solo player, I would suggest picking Excalibur. If you are planning on joining people, pick Mag or Volt, as these two are very good frames. They synergize with a lot of other frames in a game, and they can really do a lot of damage, especially when paired with a good team. Furthermore, I will like to also just remind everyone, just because you see Excalibur pasted on absolutely everything that Digital Extremes has, doesn't mean that he is, or should be, your go-to frame. He is the poster child. He was the first frame that they made, and therefore he is the one they like to promote the most. This does not mean that he is actually the right choice, by no means at all, as he is their love child. They want people to play him. But the other two frames are just as good, if not better, in many circumstances than Excalibur is, as Excalibur is basically a jack of all trades and he is a master of absolutely nothing, whereas Mag is an absolute master of controlling a battlefield. Volt is masterful at destroying enemies very, very quickly, and Excalibur is good at running off and getting himself killed when you do not know what you're doing. And this is highly likely, as you're starting out, to not know what you are doing. Now, I will say, I have probably been slightly biased towards Excalibur. That's because I've seen more bad Excalibur players, because they get so used to just relying on his fourth ability and only spamming that they don't know how to, one, play with other people, and two, use another frame. Like, the transition seems to be a lot harder for people who just like to main Excalibur, whereas people who like to use Mag and Volt and have picked them off the bat tend to be able to transition into a new frame somewhat a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying do not pick Excalibur. He is a very good frame when he is used correctly, and he has actually got a very good and very friendly early game kit. Mag and Volt have a bit more of a higher skill cap than him, but these two frames are incredibly good, and there is no way that they are beneath Excalibur at all. No matter how many times you will hear people say Mag and Volt are bad, they are both, in fact, absolutely fantastic frames, and there's a reason that they are starter frames, is because they are very strong, and they have a lot of potential, whereas Excalibur is somewhat more just a very basic and easy frame. The only other frame that would be easier than Excalibur would be Inaros, and that is simply because this guy can have about 4,000 HP, take absolutely no damage, and give absolutely no fucks, and needs only one mod to be able to be played, and that is a Vitality mod. But at the end of the day, the choice will be yours. I say pick wisely, enjoy the game, and I will hopefully catch you in the next one. Kila Salai, Swazdala, goodbye, Tenno.